Betrayed after 12 years. My wife left me and our kids for an older man. I, 44M, married my now ex-wife, 36F, in 2013. We had our first son in 2014 and our second in 2017. Our first child has autism and struggles with communication, while our second has developmental language disorder, DLD, and shows some signs of autism. Despite the challenges, life was going well until 2020, when everything started to fall apart. I discovered she had been emailing an old friend she used to have a romantic relationship with before we met. She had created a new email account to contact him and arrange a meeting to catch up. When I confronted her, it led to a huge argument. She became so stressed when I told her I would inform her parents that she took a leave from work, spiraled into a breakdown, and moved in with her parents for nearly 8 months. During that time, she constantly lashed out at me verbally. After those 8 months, she seemed to improve, but I found out she had kept his number and even met up with him. She insisted that nothing serious happened, just a kiss, and claimed she was committed to fixing our marriage. I was heartbroken, but wanted to believe her. So, from September 2021 onward, we worked on rebuilding our relationship. Things seemed to be improving. Our kids were thriving, and life felt normal again. Just as I was finishing therapy to heal from the betrayal, she mentioned wanting to invite our children's swim teacher over for coffee. I found this odd, especially since he was much older, in his 60s, and had made me uncomfortable before, particularly when he kept touching our eldest on the head despite being told not to. She eventually dropped the idea after agreeing it might seem inappropriate. However, 2 months later, she asked him for private swimming lessons for our children outside of regular hours. I found this strange, but I let it slide. The lessons turned out to be a complete waste. Our youngest disliked him, and our oldest only swam for 5 minutes despite us paying €60. Afterward, the three of us were talking, and out of nowhere, she stroked his arm. When I asked why, she brushed it off, saying she does the same with me. I reminded her that I'm her husband. He is not even a friend. The situation got even more uncomfortable when he suggested family swimming and made a comment about wanting to see me in a bathing suit and her in swimming shorts. I found it highly unprofessional. At the session, my wife had a bruised toe and didn't join in the water. Instead, when I got in, the instructor suddenly took a bathroom break and then spent the entire 45-minute session sitting alone with my wife in the break room. That was the final straw. I decided to file a complaint about his behavior. She initially agreed with me, but then turned around and called him the next day, telling him I had threatened her with the complaint. To make matters worse, I later found out she had been calling him from work multiple times in September and October. This crossed a boundary for me, so I spoke to her parents. Her mother was shocked and upset, mainly because she had been making up lies about me while trying to meet up with a man 24 years older than her. She claimed she didn't know why she did it and promised to stop. Despite this, her behavior became even more secretive. She would disappear for hours, completely unreachable. In January, I finally decided to test my suspicions. I got off work early one day, but didn't tell her. She asked to meet for lunch, and afterward she said she had errands to run and was going to a tanning salon. Something felt off, so I stayed nearby and watched. She did go into the salon, but minutes later, the swim teacher followed. I set up a voice recorder on her phone earlier that day. She had left it in the car. That night, I listened. Not only did they meet up, but they also went into the same tanning booth. 5 minutes later, I had confirmation of what I had feared all along. The next day, I confronted her and told her parents that I was filing for divorce. We went through mediation, and it was decided that the children would stay with me in our home since our eldest needs stability. She struggled to find a place and ended up in a hotel nearby. One evening, she called me, emotional and apologetic. Since a friend was at my house watching the kids, I decided to check on her, only to find that she had already invited the swim teacher over. He came with flowers and a suitcase. They spent 2 nights together, and now, as of 2 weeks ago, she has officially moved in with him. This entire situation has been an emotional roller coaster. I don't regret having my 2 sons with me full time. I would never trade that for anything. But it hurts that she threw everything away for this man. She is already planning a vacation with him in March, while I am left to handle everything alone. She acts as if I'm overreacting and still expects casual small talk when she visits to help put the kids to bed. She refuses to acknowledge any wrongdoing. Our eldest needs familiarity, and I refuse to have this man around my children. Ironically, she was the one who insisted that neither of us introduce a new partner to the kids anytime soon. But now, because of her actions, I feel like I have to put my own future relationships on hold indefinitely. I just needed to get this off my chest. That's my story, and as much as it hurts, I know I need to move forward for my kids. Life can throw some unexpected betrayals our way, but we have to stay strong for those who truly depend on us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.